name is Sam.
Dottie, my name is Ryan.
And welcome to our channel.
We have a very special video for you today. I think this is gonna do so well. It's just trending so much right now. Everyone's talking about it. This absolutely isn't from January 2nd, 2009 or anything. In our friend group, we have a very long-running inside joke that stems from what I would say is many of our favorite, if not one of our favorite, YouTube videos ever.
Yes.
Stay with us, please, because it's so good, okay? Just to skip to the end, what you're going to get out of this video is some chuckles and an excellent piece of Hollywood lore. Okay, so like it's just, you know, fun little, you can say it at dinner and everyone will be like, wow, you're so smart, you know things about the world and people. Just take this journey with us, it's gonna be great. So Orson Welles died a long time ago, but one of the most famous film directors. He was also an actor. He directed Citizen Kane. In sort of his last like third of his life, he just like did a bunch of commercials. That was kind of like his thing. He did commercials for like a Dungeons and Dragons game. He did all kinds of commercial for like wine and champagne. He did commercial for like a grill, I want to say. A copier, like a literal copy machine.
He was everywhere. He was selling that commercial face.
But like that's all he was doing. Like one of the most famous filmmakers of all time. For the last third of his life, he was just doing commercials. Okay, so there are outtakes from one of his commercials selling a California champagne by Paul Masson. And the outtakes went viral because Orson Welles appears ridiculously wasted in these outtakes of this commercial. And he, you know, he's older, he's a little overweight, he's kind of like slouched over, and he can genuinely barely speak. And mimicking Orson Welles' outtakes from this commercial has become one of our favorite things to do as a friend group. So before we go into the lore of this commercial, let's just show you parts of this commercial so you can kind of see what we're talking about, because it's genuinely excellent.
Turn camera. Or 1 2, take 1. With over that, action please. Action also, please.
He doesn't do anything?
No, sorry, cut.
So already starting off strong, the first take he just sits there. He looks like he's melting. He literally looks like a melted candle. And he just sits there and he just sits there, and then when he gets the second action, he looks over at the extra, looks back to the director, and says in an almost intelligible slur, "He doesn't do anything? He doesn't do anything?" That's what he says, because he thinks the extra is supposed to do something. Orson Welles is the only person who speaks in this entire commercial. So no, of course he doesn't do anything. Okay, so just wasted, goners. Okay, that's only take 1. There are 3 of these outtakes. Let's listen to him attempt the script.
1 2, take 2.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence.
Oh, the French champagne. I want to insert a photo of Ryan's birthday cake this year.
Ah, great.
Because this just goes to show how much weight this commercial has in our hearts.
No, because yeah, my birthday is June 14th. One of our best friends, Torrance, his birthday is also June 14th. He also loves this commercial, and our shared birthday cake literally said,
the French champagne.
There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
This still goes over the cut.
Keeps going for the director.
So,
so I would argue that is probably his best take.
Yeah.
Because then they try it one more time and it's even worse. Look at Orson. He's already over it before they even begin. Look at how like Orson Welles can't even be bothered to do this. He's like down, he's slumped over like this, and then he starts. This is the last outtake.
So good. This is the best.
1 2, take 3. Action please.
Ah, the French Champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson.
And then this is one of my favorite parts. He does this in the last one too, when he points to the bottle like, this, inspired by that same French excellence. Watch it, here it comes.
Inspired by that same French excellence, is fermented in the bottle and like the best French champagne has been dated.
Like the
He
best.
has to breathe
French
between French and champagne. He's like exhausted just from sitting there.
The French.
He's out of breath.
So, yes, everyone's public opinion on this or their knee-jerk reaction is like, man, he was wasted. He's filming a champagne commercial. Like, how, like, why did they let him get so drunk?
Yeah, if you go to the comments of this video, just everyone's like, oh my god, like
So
Orson Welles is wasted.
Like, that's so embarrassing.
And he appears wasted, definitely. But that is not the story.
What?
So here is the story. This was shot at a California winery in wine country in California. The night before they shot it, Orson Welles was shooting something else in Las Vegas. It was supposed to wrap at dusk, and they were behind. It actually ended up wrapping at dawn the following morning. So that night he was supposed to wrap and then go from Vegas to California. He shot all through the night, and that morning that he was supposed to be in California, he was still in Vegas. So he got in a limousine. They were just going to drive him straight from Vegas to this shoot in wine country. He was going to get out of the limo and go straight into this commercial shoot. And he was a wreck. He was all kinds of nervous. And he was like, well, like, I'm not going to be able to sleep in the car. I'm going to be all out of sorts. And so someone said, well, here, I'll give you like a sleeping pill, basically a tranquilizer. It'll knock you out in the car, and then you'll wake up and you'll be refreshed for this shoot in California. So he takes the sleeping pill, he sleeps all the way to California, he gets to wine country in California, he wakes up and he is still absolutely nuked from this tranquilizer that he took. And I forget what his quote is, but he says to the director, like, I'm all out of sorts, or something like that. I'm all shaken up, something like that. Like, what do you suggest? What do I do? He was like so concerned.
Yeah, which is very polite and considerate.
Absolutely. And so the director is like, well, let's try a few, and we'll see how it goes. And so that's where these outtakes came from. He is tranquilized. He is on a sleeping pill. He like can barely stay awake, and so his slurred speech and his lethargy isn't because he's wasted. It's because he genuinely like is basically asleep. He can't even stay awake, and so like when he's down like this and all that, he's like trying to stay awake.
Absolutely. I can't imagine having to perform a job on like sleeping medicine.
Oh my god.
Like,
I can't imagine having to do anything on sleeping medicine.
Other than sleep.
Right.
It like completely changes how you watch these. And it makes so much sense.
No, I mean, so I took a Benadryl last night and I could barely sleep. I was so sleepy. Like seriously, like I was so like tranquilized that like I almost couldn't get to bed because I was so worried about how tranquilized I was.
Yeah.
Like these types of things are really intense.
Ah, the French.
There's this like decades-long rumor that Orson Welles was wasted for these commercials. He wasn't. He was actually very out of sorts, very worried that he was slowing down production. He was embarrassed. So as the story goes, they tried 3 takes, and those were those 3 takes. The director went up to him and was sort of like, look, Orson, this isn't working. So they were shooting it in like this villa. They set up a room for him. He took a nap for like 4 hours, woke up and shot the entire commercial in an hour. They wrapped, and everyone on the set said that he was a consummate professional and incredibly lovely to work with.
Lovely to hear that, because that's not what you think watching this.
Action, Orson, please.
Just do anything?
We would show you the actual commercial, but of course this is YouTube, and even though they say they support fair use content, they don't. So we would likely get a copyright strike on this video. So please just do yourself a favor and look up the actual Orson Welles Paul Masson. Is it Masson? How do you say it?
Well,
Paul Masson. That's
Paul Masson, yeah.
Okay.
He did a lot of Paul Masson wine commercials, actually, like many. And the famous tagline was, Paul Masson will sell no wine before it's time. So there are many of them, but
watch all of them.
Literally, if you type into YouTube the French, this video that we just showed you will come up, and on the side the actual commercial. It clips along. He's talking so fast. It's all the same script, but without any of those like crazy tranquilized pauses and stuff. And it's just like an excellent piece of Hollywood lore. I have a Twitch stream, and one of my sound alerts on Twitch is literally his the French. And another fun fact. The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. Paul Masson's superb taste in wine should come as no surprise. While the wine may not come from France, it comes from someone who does. Paul Masson. Paul Masson will sell no wine before it's time. I have the whole thing memorized.
That is incredible.
I love this commercial so much. This is like one of my favorite pieces of Hollywood lore. This is one of my favorite videos on YouTube. It has 13 million views. I'm 12 of them. I love stories like this.
Yay.
So we just wanted to give you this little, like, these fast facts fun thing about Orson Welles. Listen, a lot of you are millennials and Gen Z. Your parents and people older than you would never expect you to have all these fast facts about Orson Welles and this amazing commercial that he shot a long time ago. So if you share this, people are going to think you're so smart, and they're going to be like, oh my god, where'd you learn that? No, just like something I picked up on the internet. Sam and Ryan, they teach me everything. I'm so smart.
Exactly. I mean, look at us. Educational. Entertaining.
Edutaining. Intercational.
Intercational content. Brought to you by Sam and Ryan.
I love that. Let's make little
Intercational
t-shirts that
Productions.
say intercational.
That's cute. Yeah.
We probably talked about making merch for 2 years and we haven't.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, be sure to like and subscribe. And let us know if there are any other like quick deep dives you want to see us do on either like our favorite things.
Oh yeah, tell us what to do. We'll do it. It would be so great.
That's true. That's true. Tell us what to do. We'll do it. Sam and Ryan.
The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence.
He doesn't know anything.
He doesn't know anything.